about 9:30. I went, that's perfect time.
It's literally half 9.
It's 20 to 10.
You are saying it's not 20 to 10.
You are a drama queen. Our last drive together for like a few months.
It's only a few months, like we've all done it before.
But you can come home next week if you want to. Like, don't.
How do you feel? How do you feel? Mom robbing the limelight yet again.
Bag is 2 kg over, so we need to hope that they're feeling kind today. So, okay, let me say bye to you.
Stay safe. So my stupidly heavy bag has made it through. Didn't ask any questions. I was fully prepared to pay. I was like, nothing else can come out of this bag. My yoga mat has come out. So many pairs of shoes have come out. I was like, nothing more can physically come out of this bag. But we made it. I have some food and then I'm gonna head to my gate. I'm super early, but I'm pretty happy about that because I was feeling a bit stressed this morning. But I'm gonna eat now. So I'm currently in Amsterdam airport. I just had the nicest veggie bento box ever. Like, it was so good. And now there's actually only 3 hours till my flight takes off. Like an hour and a half till boarding. So I just put my roller skates on. I'm gonna have a little skate in the airport. Gosh, I have finally made it to my hotel. I'm in my quarantine hotel. It's literally, so it's 11:30 at night here. I got here about half an hour ago. What time is that at home? Okay, the restaurant didn't call me back for my dinner because, yeah, I literally had a snack on the plane. Like, I had a little wrap that was like maybe the size of my hand, but like half of it, like the length of my hand, but not even the full girth, you know? So I haven't eaten all day. I'm really happy that I got that sushi in the airport last night. I'm gonna give you a room tour in a second, but I'm gonna talk you through how literally, look how much I'm sweating. Anyway, it was a little bit traumatizing actually getting through customs and stuff. So got off the flight at, so it was 6 o'clock local time. So I was like, cool, grand, like this is so fine. Had to go to like the very back of the airport, and then I had no idea what was going on because I figured we had to do COVID checks and stuff, but we were like, everyone moved in the queue and then it stopped, and by the time I had picked my bags up I hadn't moved, and I was just like, wait, what are we doing here? And nobody could answer me, like no one could speak English around me, and I was just like, okay, you know what, I just need to be quicker at moving and follow the crowds. And then I figured, yeah, this is for the COVID checks. But it was just taking so long. I was like, am I in the wrong place? Like, are people waiting to get on a flight, or is everyone in the same position as me? Anyway, like blah 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 blah, and I was like, yeah, like I'm traveling alone. Anyway, so then he moves me up to the next computer because his computer wasn't working. I'm like, I'm shitting myself, what is going on? Get moved in. They're asking me all the same questions again, like, are you alone? Like, they were very fixated on the fact that I was alone. And then they were like, do you not have a boyfriend? And I was just like, I said yes. And then they were like, well, where is he? And I was like, he's at home. I just said this. I was, and then that was that. So eventually got through it. I was like, cool. Then had to wait outside when you get out of the airport for my PCR test for 2 more hours. And I was like, I'm so tired and I'm so hungry, and I hadn't had barely any water since the plane. And then I went to go through to give them my QR code for my hotel, and the guys there were like, you're alone? Don't you have a boyfriend? And I was like, what? Is this part of the immigration process, or is this a personal question? Like, what are we getting at? Then I just literally showed them that my ring, I was like, Rihanna got me this for Christmas, because I literally was like, I want to have a ring when I go away and when I'm traveling as a female, so that men don't annoy me. And then the guy, when I showed him my ring, he literally just showed me his back, and I was like, great. Just ordered some dinner. I'm gonna have a shower, eaten, I really want I should shower first because I feel like I would enjoy my food more, but I'm afraid to get in the shower in case I miss the food. I'll give you a room tour while I'm waiting. My food arrived as I was about to give you my room tour, but my food is also hilarious, so I'll show you that in a second. I think I was saying I'm not gonna vlog all of my quarantine because I think that'll be boring, so I'll just do bits and then maybe I'll do like a Q&A or something on my Instagram. But yeah, so you walk in, this is it. I'll show you the bathroom first. It's actually really nice, and I actually just had a shower when my food arrived. I was like, okay, now I can chill. I won't eat yet, so I can show you it, and then I'll show you the room, then I'll eat, and then I started watching Sex Education again the other night, and then I watched 2 more episodes on the plane here. So I want to keep going with season 3. So yeah. Anyway, we have this wardrobe. I'm not going to unpack though because I'm literally here until Sunday. Tomorrow's Friday. Then the bed is massive. I'm so excited to go to sleep. I had a bit of a liquids disaster. My moisturizer kind of burst a bit and spilt all over them. This chair, also, I just realized the floor is wooden, so I will be doing a bit of skating, I think. It's actually a grand size room. Like, I feel like any longer than, I know initially this quarantine was meant to be 8 days, then it was 5, and now it's only 3. I feel like if I was doing 8, I'd probably be driven a bit mad in here, but like, I'm literally here till Sunday morning, so I think I'm gonna book my flight now actually, or like maybe tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, I'm really happy about this. So I have a little balcony. I think that the sun is gonna shine here tomorrow. I actually, earlier when I first came out, got a bit hazy. It is so fucking high up. That's my room. Wee! Okay, now my food. So basically I called and I was like, hey, like I just want to order some dinner because like I hadn't had dinner yet. And they were like, yeah, like, what do you want? Like a sandwich or peppers? Or a stuffed, I thought they said stuffed pepper. And I was just like, yeah, like, I'll go with the stuffed pepper. And I was like, what do you have that's vegan? That was what they said. And this is what I got. So at first I was like, oh, is that tofu? No, it's chicken. And this is beef. So that's great. But you know what? That's a nice big chunk of rice. And I don't know what that sauce is, but it will be going on it. So, you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. As I said, I'm literally here till Sunday. Like, I just have to get through till Sunday. And I'm just going to see it as like a pre-Bali like diet. So it's my dinner. I'm gonna eat it now and watch Sex Education. I've had a disaster. Not really a disaster, it's just I went to sleep last night at like 3 in the morning. Great, 3 o'clock in the morning. Next thing, 4 o'clock in the morning. You're like, I think it was like a call to prayer. I was like, okay, cool. Like it must be like 7, 8 in the morning. You know, it's not a lot of sleep, but it's enough to get me through the day. I look at my phone, 4 in the morning. I was like, surely I didn't go to sleep an hour ago. It was an hour ago. 0 point in me trying to go back to sleep because it was just not working. So I actually did some work, like just things that I had on my to-do list that I was like, I need to get those done. So I did that. Then my breakfast came and it was, nothing was vegan again. So then I locked myself out of my room, which was so embarrassing because the door to the corridor where I would have gone down to get a new key was closed. Like, so I was stuck in the corridor and I was like, what the fuck do I do now? But then I heard there's someone down the hall from me in a room. I was like, okay, knock on the door. I was like, also not supposed to be doing this, but I was like, hey, could you call reception for me? Because I have locked myself out of my room. So that happened, they let me back in. And then I had my breakfast and I was like, listen, this food situation is not gonna work for me. I can't eat eggs, I can't eat meat, I can't eat dairy. Can we sort that out? But they've sorted that out now, which is actually great. I mean, the food is really a bit naff, like not good, but you know what? It's better than getting meat delivered. And so after I had my breakfast and stuff, it was like 9:30 and I was like done some work bits that I was like had on my to-do list, and I was like, what the fuck do I do now? So I was like, you know what? Lunch is at 12. So I'm gonna sleep until 12. Like that's only 3 hours. Like that won't fuck me up, you know, like I'll still sleep tonight. It's 20 to 3. So I woke up when my lunch arrived. I had a bit of lunch. I'd say I was awake for like half an hour, but you know, your eyes are just like heavy. Like I was like, no physical way I could stay awake. Yeah, it's now 23. I mean, it's still not too bad. Like I only slept for like, I'd say in total maybe 4.5 hours, and then obviously my hour last night, so maybe for like 5.5 hours. I still feel exhausted, so I think what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna try and like wind down as early as possible tonight and go to sleep and hopefully sleep through the night. Yeah, that's my disaster. I'm gonna try and do some yoga now to actually wake myself up. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to be super jet lagged. I really didn't think this would be a problem. It's like when I went to Thailand, we just fell into the time zone so perfectly. So it was my last day in quarantine, and I just thought I would give you a little update on how my day is going, but also answer some questions that I got in my little question box on Instagram regarding the move to close this video. My day has been, honestly, all of my days here have felt so weird. I think because I've been like pretty majorly jet lagged, I actually don't even remember them. Like obviously the first night I had 1 hour sleep, and then yesterday I fell asleep for a few hours, so I was like, surely I'm gonna sleep at like 12. I was like, okay, amazing, I'll set my alarm for 6:30, like this is gonna be great. I woke up at 3 in the morning. The light kind of peeks under the blinds. I like sat up, I was like, okay, let's see if the light is under the blinds, but it must be like 5, and that's fine if I've woken up a bit early. The light under the blinds, it was 3 a.m. I was like, no. So I put on another sleep meditation. I tried to sleep for another hour. It was not happening. So let's get up. I just got up at about 5, and then I did a workout. I did some yoga. I was dancing around my room, had my PCR test. Then I came back, and when I came back from the PCR test, the sun was like very much shining. I literally like took my pillow out here and my towel, and I just lay here. But anyway, that's been my day. Hopefully my PCR test should be negative. I can't see how it wouldn't be. Then I check out tomorrow at like 6 in the morning, and then I fly to Bali. So I am honestly so excited. Like I can't wait to just be outside, be at the beach. I'm just really excited, and to eat fucking proper food and to snack. I'm gonna go into these questions now. I think a few are kind of the same. A few people were kind of like, where are you gone? So I thought it was clear, but I don't know, maybe people miss my stories and stuff. So I am gone to Bali. So I'm in Jakarta at the moment. This is where my quarantine is. So yeah, the question I got asked kind of in relation to that is like, how long are you gone for? I don't really know yet. I'm kind of just winging it. Like my plan is like to be gone for as much of the winter as possible. I mean, I actually love summer in Ireland, and I think I'd possibly like to go west of Ireland next summer. There's a lot of time there this year, and I just feel happy there. I'm not really a winter gal, so I was like, you know what, I'm not doing winter this year. Aim/goal is kind of like February, March, but nothing is really set in stone. So do you think you'll make friends easy in Bali? Any tips for a socially awkward? I think I will. I think I'm quite a sociable person. Anywhere I go, once I kind of, well, because of what I do in terms of like my hobbies, so skating, I'm gonna try and do a lot of surfing while I'm out here. I haven't surfed in ages, but I want to like get really good so that I can come home and just keep it up. Doing those kind of hobbies and then being into fashion and stuff, I think you just kind of meet people organically by doing things like that. So I think it'll be fine for me. Like that's how I made most of my friends that I'm friends with now, is through the hobbies and activities that I do. So I don't really have any worries about that. Obviously I'm a bit anxious. I'm like, oh, but I think it'll be fine. My biggest tip for anyone who's socially awkward is genuinely, and I know I say it all the time, but start a hobby that's social and interactive and where you have to meet people, because then you end up meeting people that have very similar interests to you. So it just is a bit more authentic and organic. So my advice: did you travel to Bali alone? Could you give a full run through of the planning and prep? Yes, so I traveled alone. Now I follow a few people on Instagram, some mutuals that have done the same thing, or like, you know, live out here. So I'll just text them on Instagram and ask for a bit of help as well. But obviously with COVID, it's a little bit harder. I know when I traveled to Southeast Asia, like 5 years ago, like every country in Southeast Asia that we went to, you just got a visa on arrival and you paid like $30 or something or whatever for it. Bali's borders are still closed for tourism, so usually you can do that, but because they're still closed for tourism, you can't do that. But what you do is you get a B211A visa, which is the visa that I got, and it's basically like a business visa. Go to the agency and they just kind of sort it all out. The visa took less than like, I don't know, I'm gonna say a week or two, and I just paid for the regular one, but you can get an express one which takes like less than 5 days. So to have a negative PCR test, have like obviously your double vaccine, so I have that. So you have to be double vaccinated, like they don't let you into the country if you're not. Pretty standard, I think, pretty fair. And then obviously you have to do the quarantine in Jakarta. I'm so lucky. It was supposed to be 8 days first of all, and then it got reduced to 5 days, well 4 nights 5 days, and then it got reduced to 3 days. So honestly, after spending the 3 days here, honestly it hasn't been too bad at all. And like if I had to do another day, I wouldn't die. But if I had to do another like 4 days, I think I possibly would die. I probably wouldn't, but I'm just glad it got reduced, because it's honestly like, as I said, I've been so jet lagged, I've hardly even felt like I've been here, so it's been so grand. So that was kind of the whole process. And then basically tomorrow then I fly from Jakarta to Bali. It's definitely a lot more, I would say, well, not even a lot more now that the quarantine is reduced so much, but sorry, it's more expensive overall, because I mean, I think the visa was about 300, and then when I first booked my quarantine it was like 350 or something, so I mean that's almost what, like 600 euro before you even to the country. But then it dropped to 270, so I mean it's still around 600, but like it's not actually that bad. It's just an extra 600 euro that you didn't have to spend before COVID. So I mean that's obviously something to take into consideration, and I know hopefully the borders will open again soon. I looked for the first month, it was like 250 a month, 250 for the month. So I'm going to be staying there till December, and then I might see if I want to like get a place on my own, but I just think the guest house was the best option for the first month, because I obviously don't know anyone, and I heard someone say it's a great way to kind of meet people and stuff. Is it a safe place for a solo woman traveler? Obviously I haven't got there yet, and I've never actually been to Bali. I know any other time I've been in Southeast Asia, like Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, I never felt unsafe, and I traveled with 2 girls. See, I'll probably have to like update my report on that. I mean, coming through customs as well, I kept getting asked, was I single, or where was my boyfriend, or why was I traveling alone? But I think that was more just like banter than actually feeling unsafe, even though I felt a bit weird about it, but I don't think I felt like unsafe. What do you plan on doing while in Bali? So obviously I quit my job that I was doing. I was only like 3 days a week in my job anyway. I kind of made that transition during the summer to focus a little bit more on my own work, and then yeah, I guess I just haven't really thrown myself in. I threw myself into subtle poison a lot during the summer, and then my own content took a little bit of a step back because I was working and doing subtle poison. So my biggest goals like at the moment are to focus on subtle poison, but also be able to really throw myself back into my own Instagram and like TikTok content and YouTube content, because I really love doing it. So I just want to work on a new subtle poison collection, find some manufacturers and like fabrics and stuff out here. So that's kind of my plan for being here. How long is your quarantine? So yeah, as I just said, it was reduced to 3 days. What made you decide to move to Bali? So ever since I watched the movie Eat, Pray, Love, I'm actually gonna sound like such a sap, but ever since I watched that when I was like a kid, I think I was like 13 the first time I watched it, and I was like, I want to go to Bali. But I was such like, I want to go to Bali. I traveled Southeast Asia a few years ago. I was like, I want to fucking go to Bali, but we just didn't have enough time, so I always swore like I would come back. Yeah, as I said, I just was thinking about winter and thinking about my life, and I was going to move into a place in Dublin 8 in the summer, and then I was just like, no, like this is so grim, like I don't want to do this, like I don't want to pay Dublin rent. I was just like, fuck it, and I just booked my one-way ticket, and I'm so happy I did it now, because I do feel like this is something I've always wanted to do. So actually doing it now, I feel like I've really like achieved a goal, even though there's so many goals, more goals that I want to achieve while I'm here. I'm like, this is like, it just feels really in line with my path and like what I'm meant to be doing. So someone said I went to Bali solo 3 years ago, and they always asked, are you married, or where's your husband, etc. Sometimes for safety reasons I did say my husband was across the road in the shop or whatever. I also bought a Pandora ring and said I was married when felt unsafe. I think that was in reply to when I was speaking about being asked was I alone or with my boyfriend on my stories, but that's hilarious because yeah, I literally got my sister to get me a ring for Christmas. So plans for a couple of days in quarantine. So obviously it's almost over now. I think by the time this video is out it'll definitely be over, but what did I do? I did some yoga, I did some workouts, I did some work, like I did some subtle poison work. I also did just a lot of YouTube editing, made some TikToks. That was kind of it really. What are your plans in Bali? Any goals? Okay, so I obviously answered the plan thing, and I think yeah, my biggest goals are, I think number one, to have fun and just enjoy myself and not put too much pressure on it being anything, you know, like I don't want to feel like I have to come home and have achieved loads of things. Like obviously that is a bit of a goal, but like if it doesn't happen, like it's the fact that, you know, I've done this on my own and it's something I've always wanted to do. Like as I said, like that for me is already achieving a huge goal, and I think anything else is just a bonus. But I do think yeah, one of my biggest goals is to get a whole new collection designed and manufactured and either launch it from here or get it sent home and launch it from home next spring summer. So I'm already working on some designs. I think I'll finalize them once I kind of have an idea of like manufacturers and stuff out here. But yeah, honestly, and yeah, I think another goal is then to just grow my own social media a bit more and just like, yeah, really kind of turn all of it into my full-time career. I guess like it has been my career for a while now, but yeah, just to really be able to do it. So I think that was all of the questions, because a lot of them kind of incorporated the same thing. I'm gonna close out this video here. Any more questions, I will probably do another question box on my Instagram at some point. Pump out the YouTube videos, so if you're not already, please be sure to hit subscribe and follow me on this journey. I'm so excited. And also thank you to everyone who has ever like engaged or liked or supported what I do, because like honestly, without that support I actually wouldn't be able to be here and do all of this. So I'm genuinely really grateful for that. So thank you, and I will see you in my next video.